If we have better, more persistent energy like nuclear fission or fusion coming on board and robots, it would drive an increase in GDP just by kind of the merits of productivity alone. So that would offset direct consumer spending in the sense that more people can, again, like summon or have their own almost, or you could have your own robot that is its own mean of production at a certain point. I think it's hard to say what the future looks like, but clearly if you ask people, could you automate this, or do you wish this was taken care of with less effort, like more output for less effort at an individual level, I think most people would say yes. No one's getting upset at automatic doors opening for them. I don't think they'll be upset if their bathrooms are cleaner or things are put up. And frankly, people don't have time to take care of these things anymore. Look what's happened. You've got dual income households that are working. It's pretty complicated. But what do you think about, again, this is maybe a little bit more meta of a question.
Yeah, no, overall, I think everything you said there to me makes a lot of sense. I think the first question is, are robots taking jobs? And some people like to say, no, they're not taking jobs. I think that's a little bit of a wrong starting point. I think that robots, of course, they are replacing labor. And at least they make labor more efficient. What I think is more interesting here is just to look at this on a, let's say, a country basis or within an economy, because when you look at the numbers, what we can see is that countries where you have a very high adoption rate of robots, Japan being one of them, South Korea and so on, these are also economies where you have very low unemployment rates. So when you look at it as an economy, I don't really think that you can argue that robots would create unemployment.
I think you have growing quality of life, which is not really a metric often reflected in GDP. It's sometimes bundled into that. Quality of life could see, especially with aging populations or even new parents, right? Being a new parent is tough. There's a lot of things one has to take care of. There's people like Elon Musk are worried about an impending doom of birth rates. If certain aspects of pain points were taken away, you might actually see that start to come up as making a household and managing life starts to be offset with, increased automation that supports these functions.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, imagine you get more automation, countries could start to implement a 4-day work week without reducing GDP. That wouldn't necessarily, I don't think a lot of people would be against that, if all other things being equal. And things like that can be realized with robots, realized with a higher adoption of robotics.